Copies of the World is me, Queen Nightmare, and I am going to read you the 7th part of this fan fiction. Can you believe it's only, not 17, 16 more days? Oy vey. Whatever. We got this. Okay. It's called Potions, Accident, and Kitten Draco. Oh, good grief. Harry's POV. One minute I was giving Malfoy the wrong ingredient by accident, and the next minute was a piercing scream. Everyone at their tables stopped, and I watched in horror as Malfoy disappeared. Snape swept over to us, and Malfoy was found in the heap of his clothes. He was younger, around 6, but what surprised me was the ears he sprouted. He had little blonde ears coming from his head. He looked scared and he spotted me. He rushed past Snape, who was about to pick him up. I leaned down and quickly wrapped the boy in my robes. I picked him up and hugged him close. Mr. Potter, what do you do? What did you do? Snape hissed and I gulped. I may have given Malfoy the wrong ingredient. It seemed he's, sprouted cat appendages. I explained. Class dismissed, Potter. Stay. He hissed and everyone scurried out. My friends shot me sad looks and the Slytherins wee glaring at me. Malfoy had sprouted a tail as well, apparently, because it was wrapped around my leg. His face was scrunched up in fear and buried in my chest. Draco, Snape's voice was forcefully calm. Do you know where you are? He asked. Malfoy shook his head. You're at Hogwarts, he said, and Malfoy's head snapped up. Really? This is Hogwarts? My mummy always told me about Hogwarts. Draco, do you know who I am? No, sir. I am your godfather, Snape said, and Malfoy blinked at him before speaking. Severus? Severus? He questioned, and Snape nodded. Malfoy turned back to me. And you're Harry? I am. How'd you know? Sev called you Mr. Potter, Malfoy told me, and I chuckled. I brought a hand to his head between the ears and scratched him. You're such a smart boy, I cooed, and he started to purr, making me smile. Father says the same thing. Draco, nothing this cute could be considered, Malfoy said. He leaned into my touch and I scratched his ears. Well, we need to decide what to do with you. I want to stay with Harry, Draco declared. Draco, are you sure? Snape asked, and he wrapped his arms around me. Yes. Don't take me away from him, he hissed. Literally. I chuckled and snuggled the kitten boy closer. Snape pinched the bridge of his nose and shook his head, sighing. Fine, fine, he stated in defeat. You may stay with Potter. Thank you, Draco cheered. First, we need to put proper robes on you. You can't strut around around the castle naked. Snape murmured, and I put Draco down as he shrunk his clothes and handed them to the boy. Draco changed rather quickly, then grabbed my hand. Are we going to your room? Draco asked me, and I smiled. I looked at Snape, who sighed. For the time being, I will report to Dumbledore for the issue. Potter, you may speak with him later. As for now, take him back to Gryffindor Tower and let no harm come to him. Yes, sir, I agreed and took Draco out of the potions room. He looked around the castle happily, even stopped to speak with some portraits. Finally, we made it to the tower and I looked at Draco. Now, Draco, my friends might bombard you with questions. Don't get overwhelmed, I told him, and he smirked. It wasn't his Malfoy smirk. It was a smirk that was cute on him. I got this, Harry, he said, and I chuckled. I said the password and stepped in with the kitten boy. Just as I expected, everyone surrounded us, but before they could, Draco lifted his hand. Ladies and gentlemen, please ask all questions in orderly fashion, he spoke, and I had to suppress a laugh. Same. Everyone blinked before snapping into action. Okay, Harry, what's going on? Hermione was first to ask. Well, Draco will stay with us until we find out what we're going to do. I shrugged and Draco smiled. Why are you part cat, Draco? Dean asked. I don't know, Draco shrugged. Can I pet you? Someone in the crowd yelled, and Draco's eyes sharpened. No, only my Harry can pet me, he answered, and everyone fell silent. It took me a few seconds to realize he called me my Harry. I smiled shyly and dropped a hand to rub between his ears. He started to purr as everyone awed, and his tail rocked around me. He let out a little yawn, and I laughed. Okay, my little kitten cat, let's take a short nap before hearing from Snape, I said. He looked at me. Can I take a nap? Yes, I agreed, and he smiled. I walked him through the crowd and to my dorm. You can share a bed with me for the time being. You can't have you don't have another bed. You'll also have 4 other roommates. He made a face, but didn't say anything. I allowed him in my bed, and I got in next to him. I scratched his ears, and he purred and snuggled up next to me. I smiled and closed my eyes. I woke up to Snake glaring at me. I informed he informed me the antidote would not be ready for 2 weeks. The only issue was he would not be able to return Draco to his human self, only to his older self. Draco told his godfather that he was all right because he liked being a kitty. Another bed would be put in my room to be accommodating to Draco. I would be his guardian until the antidote was finished, and I would take Draco with me everywhere I went. 2 weeks later, and I was upset. Draco would go back to Malfoy and probably go back hating me. We became close in those last 2 weeks. He was like a mini best friend. He always wanted to be with me. No one else, just me. It gave me a little sense of pride and strong feeling of needing to protect. Snape handed the goblet to Draco, who looked at me, and I nodded in assurance, and he smiled. He took the potion and slowly started to change back. Thankfully, this time he had to change uh had a change of clothes so he wouldn't be naked. When he was finally the old Malfoy, well, with the ears and tail, he quickly changed and then looked at me. Well, I guess I should be going. I told them and went to leave. I started towards the door and I felt something in my hand. It was another hand. Wait, don't leave me here, Malfoy said to me, and I looked at him perplexed. What? I asked, and he pouted very adorably. Don't don't think you don't you think don't think you're gonna leave me. You're my Harry, he said, and I swallowed. You're Harry? I asked, and he smiled, leaning. He pecked my lips quickly and said, Yes, I've claimed you. I am a kitten, remember? He asked, and I scratched his ears. He purred and scooted close to me. I only want you, he told me, and I smiled. I only want you too, I promised. And I meant that promise, because 2 years later, we were married. Wow. Part 2. Oh, good grief. Oh, how could this get any worse? Oh no, I just remembered. He's a cat. He's gonna have kits. He's gonna have little kittens. Draco and Harry had been happily married since Harry's 19th birthday and were very happy 3 years later. Not very happy. 3 years later, Draco was still a cat, but better yet, he was pregnant. How did I call this? With growing with growing the cat ears and tail, he had also gained some inner organ to sustain a pregnancy. Oof. The couple was was so pleased when they found out they tried for a baby quickly. Oh, I feel so bad. Okay, anyways. What they didn't expect was since he was a cat, he would have a litter. Thankfully, this litter only consisted of twins. It was a relief to not only Harry but Draco as well. And just like any good cat, Draco liked boxes. Oh, yeah. But he only liked it for comfort, so when he climbed in it at 2:30 in the morning, Harry knew something was wrong. Draco's belly had expected the sight of his feet, and it was ready to pop. Kitten cat? Harry questioned, kneeling next to the box, and Draco whimpered. They're ready, Draco told Harry, who paled and nodded. Okay, let's get back to the bed. Harry went to pick up Draco, but he hissed viciously. No, Draco protested. Harry put his hands up in defense and allowed Draco to stay in his box. When they talked to the healer who specialized in magical creature pregnancies, he advised them that Draco would know what to do when the time came, that no one but the two of them would need would be needed in the assistance of the birth. Harry, Draco cried, and Harry scratched his ears. What do you need? Harry asked, and Draco grabbed his hand. Remove my box. They'll be here soon. This is like a horror movie. I'm gonna grab your hand. Remove the box. The babies are coming. Anyways, he told me, and Harry, who nodded. Oh, I'm so sorry. I read it wrong. It says remove my boxers, not the box. I'm so sorry. I'm such a dumbo. I'm so sorry. Remove my boxers. They'll be here soon. He told Harry, and he nodded and quickly removed the underwear. An hour of labor, sweat and tears. Hour of labor, sweat and tears. Draco was cleaning off his little kittens. They had little ears and little tails. Their ears were blonde, but their hair was black like Harry's. Their eyes were the same color as Draco. Wait. They don't know the color because kittens have their eyes shut for like a couple of days. This seems like it's wrong. Or it's just me. Anyways, they had little ears and little tail. Their eyes were the same color as Draco's, but they had Harry's nose. In a sense, they were very cute. Draco curled up to his mate, who was holding their daughter, as Draco held their son. Thank you, Draco, Harry acknowledged and rubbed his ears. Draco purred and snuggled into the shoulder of Harry. You're welcome, he told Harry. He kissed both of his children's faces and said, Welcome to the world, Lily and James. Why would you name them your parents' names? That doesn't sound right. But what do I know? I don't know anything apparently. Ow. I don't know why, but that ruined me brain-wise. No, it was a good story, but oh, that's Scorpius. Oh boy. Drarry. Adorable boys and flirting counterparts. Huh? Okay. Anyways, Harry's POV. My friends never let me live it let me live it down. Okay. Because I was short with big gem green eyes, pouty lips, they always say it. They called me adorable. It's not that I hate being called adorable. It's just that I wanted to be more of a manly name, like handsome. That would be considered appropriate. All right, Potter, let's get this project done, Malfoy said, sitting down. Just as he was sitting down, Hermione and Ginny walked into the library. Ginny smiled and waved at me. Harry, you look so adorable today, she yelled through the library. I blushed and scowled at her as she giggled along with Hermione. Oh, Potty, getting embarrassed by his girlfriend, calling him adorable, he cooed. She's not my girlfriend, I hissed, but he bat he bat his eyelashes at me, but she bat her eyelashes at me. She's not wrong, you know, he said, and I gulped. What? I asked. With your eyes being greener than they should be, with your pretty pink lips. How else would someone describe you? He asked, and I shook my head. Manly? I told him, and he laughed. Someone as short as you couldn't be that manly, he said, and he scooted closer to me. Excuse me? I asked, and he smirked, and he leaned in, our lips almost touching. I mean, you're very adorable, he whispered. You think so? I know so, he told me, and then closed the gap. His lips grasped mine, and I kissed back. It was so different when he pulled away. He smiled, even 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 you flushed. You're so adorable. Oh boy. Oh no. I'm gonna end this on this one little one. I'm gonna go over for today. Deception and anger. Drarry. Warning: gay slurs and homophobia. Ron's POV. I swear, Ron, you say you saw them together. Fred and George told me together, shook his head, and I shook my head. Harry is not dating Malfoy, I aspirated. We saw, they yelled, and I clenched my fist. Harry is not gay, and for Malfoy. Stop pulling my leg, I yelled, and George sighed. He pulled out his portable camera and showed me the picture. Harry and Malfoy were walking, holding hands, and they leaned in. They kissed, and on the lips, I felt sick to my stomach and looked at them with disbelief. Where are they? I hissed. They're by the lake, Fred said. I growled and stormed out of the tower, and I stormed towards the lake, and sure enough, there they were, cuddling. Potter! I yelled, and they both jumped. They whipped around, and Harry paled. I pulled him up by the neck and slammed him against a tree. Ron, get off of him! Get off of me! He yelled. I bet you like this, you disgusting faggot. He hissed, and his face fell. Weasley, let him go, Malfoy yelled. Shut the fuck up, you poff. I screamed, and I turned back to Harry. His face was flushed with anger, and tears were in his eyes. Aw, baby gonna cry, I taunted, and he punched me. And I punched him once in the gut, then dropped him. You good-for-nothing piece of shit, I spat. Weasley! Malfoy pulled out his wand and but I shot him a hex. He hit the ground too, and I looked at Potter. You're dead to me. Anything for more attention? Yeah. Can't, anything for more attention, yeah? Can't you be normal? Can you? You have to choose to be gay. I can't believe I even called you my best friend. I left them on the ground and walked away. I glanced back and Potter's head was on Malfoy's lap. Pathetic faggots. Whoa. Whoa. That came out of my mouth? Whew. That was a lot. Ow. I have to talk to a friend. Wow, that ruined me. Whew. I'm probably gonna, I don't know if I should put this as 18 rating. I might just do it because of the warning. Very offensive. Anyways, guys, I have to leave it here because I went way over the market. Anyways, I love you guys so much. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.